Damian, I'm gonna ask you this. Why is it so important that we as a people know the history of Africa?
Well, it's important for people to know history in general, you know, of the world, not just Africa, just in general. But you really find out that the history of Africa is one that is really hidden. It's not really as easily accessible as, you know, a lot of the other world history. You know what I mean? And especially the part of African history that is really, I would say, you know, enforcing to people, like, you know, that builds your character as someone of African descent. You know what I mean? We don't really learn about the great kings of Africa and about the early civilizations of Africa and the early, you know, discoveries and contributions that Africa has made toward humanity. You don't really learn a lot of that, you know? Most of the time you learn about, you know, tribal situations and primitive lifestyle. They don't teach you about the great sciences and the great, you know, all of these things that was existing there long before anyone from outside came. You know what I mean? So as people in today's world moving, you have to have a backbone, you have to have a root. You know, a tree without a root will wither away, you know? So you have to have a root, and if we don't know the root of where we're coming from and have a strong root, then we will be weak, you know what I mean? So really, to strengthen ourselves as a people, we need to know our history, you know, and thoroughly our history.
Why do you think that history is so hidden? Why do you think that it is so hidden?
Well, I mean, you know, they always say, I'm not sure of the saying, but it's something like the winners of the war are the ones who get to write the books. You know what I mean? Basically, that is kind of what's going on, you know. If you even really look at Africa as a map, you know, the continents, the borderlines that you see is something that was done in like a week, you know, that was drawn by a set of European nations. You know what I mean? So it's divide and conquer, which brings us to now. So now that we are now able to, you know, the world is open and what have you, we have the internet, we have different things at our access. Now is the time to really research and find our true history, you know?
So y'all listen, let's find out about our history. Our brother said world history, African history. Take the time out to find out what we come from, and you'll know the greatness that you possess, baby. I promise you that. The greatness that we possess.
That's right.
Now, Nas, when y'all talk about distant relatives, what are some of the things that both of y'all want to do to give back to and get in touch with those distant relatives?
When we first started doing the album, we was thinking about all the things that we can do, all the charities we can give to, but then we realized we didn't really trust too many charities. And so we started to question, like, how much money could we, you know, produce to help out some people in Africa? And then we thought about all the diamonds and stuff that come from Africa. Like, how could we, Africa has really more money than America, really. You know, when you think about what's in the natural resources, what's coming out of there, petroleum, and all the money that's being made is not going back to the people. So then you have rebels and you have all these wars and people dying, but there are no answers to why this is happening. So we really saw that we were just at the tip of the iceberg or something even more major. We were like, all right, how far are we going? This is music now. This is just music. Are we going to become like some kind of, you know, representative for whatever? It was like, all right, let's do a tour and let's give money to these people and that people. Then we started to stumble across other questions that made us keep questioning more things. So we haven't decided yet exactly what we are going to do. The first things I say, let's just go back to the hood, my hood, and Kingston, Jamaica, and Queensbridge, and let's do a little things there as we decide what we can do in Africa.
Has any of this for the both of y'all? Because you know how you are pulled to do something, and there's nothing you can do about it? Even when you want to back away and say, wait a minute now, I'm a rapper, I'm a reggae artist, wait a minute. Do you feel like this is it? It's that pulling that you can't do nothing about it?
I feel that.
Yeah, I feel that also.
That's a plantation answer, damn it. Nah, baby. That was a fact, yeah. I feel that.
I'm saying you don't want to get too spiritual with it, that people think you're a little crazy and everything.
Here's the thing, brother. This the Monique Show, and it's the No Judgment Zone, and we know where it comes from. So give it to us like you're supposed to. Ain't no judgment, baby, because it's not even about being spiritual. What I'm impressed with oftentimes when you do think rapper, you don't think, because the media puts it out there, oh, they're just partying and they're doing crazy stuff. You don't think that this brother's saying, wait a minute, y'all, let's change the world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that Damian Marley is saying, let's change the world. This is what happens when you go on the plantation, baby. You want to change the world. Now, when y'all get ready to do the tour, the world tour, 2010 world tour,